Hare Krishna, my screen is visible, my voice is audible,
Yes, Prabhuji.
and the full screen is coming.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. So let's start. Om Gyan Timradasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Maham Dadati Sopadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Ganta Radha Kanta Namastude Taptaka Anchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Eva cha तिथानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो 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 विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद सद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we are starting chapter 16, and chapter 16 is Daivasura Sampada Vibhaga Yoga, or that means the divine and demoniac natures. So humble obeisance to Radha Madhava. What happened? Why did it freeze? So this is this summary, or you can say a kind of a recap for chapter 15. That is the Purushottama Yoga that we completed yesterday. So 1 to 5, becoming detached from the material world, the reflection of the spiritual world. And 6 to 11 was about the transmigrations. 12 to 15 was Krishna's position as the maintainer. And, and then in the last part, we have this last three summary, three verses, the three important slokas of Bhagavad Gita, which summarizes the Vedas and the Vedanta kind of living entities. With that, one question comes to our mind that so in the 14th chapter, so we talked about the inverted tree, so and how to cut that. The question is, what are the various qualities are required? We like what kind of divine qualities are required to cross this material world, to cut the tree with the X of detachment. For even to get the X of detachment, what are those qualities which are required? And that is what will be discussed in this chapter, that's 16. And there's a reason why it is called divine and demoniac qualities. So it's again a small chapter, 24 verses. So we'll try to catch up with half of that, or let's see what we can do. So 1 to 6 is about the transcendental and the demonic qualities. 7 to 20, the demonic nature, and 21 to 24 is the choice. So we are talking about the divine. So Krishna will talk about the divine qualities. After talking about the divine qualities, he used to talk about the demonic qualities. Why? Because divine quality, which qualities we are in, we should be in a position to know. Also, if we are not in the divine qualities, then what are the things to be done to get into the platform of divine qualities? And also, we can judge ourselves if some demonic qualities are also creeping in. And that is what is the appraisal which is to be done in a constant manner. So, 21 to 24 is the choice. The choice of what? The choice of escaping to the supreme destination. That is, Tathamam Paramam Mama. Yat Katva na Nibartante. That Thamam Paramam Mama. That Thama from where nobody comes back. And what is that escape velocity which is required to escape from this material world? That formula will be given from 21 to 24. Hare Krishna. So let's proceed. This was what we understood in the, when we talked about the inverted banyan tree. So, so what was that? The tree, it was, so healthy with all multiple multitude of branches going upward, going downward. and unlimited number of branches and so on. So, what was that which was nourishing this tree? Anyone? Hare Krishna. What was that which was nourishing this tree? Hare Krishna. Just a question. Please try and attempt. Anyone, please? Hare Krishna.
Sir, good
Yes.
deed. Good deed, sir.
Good deeds. Good deeds are good. Good deeds will not nourish the tree because the nourishment is the modes of nature. That is the Sattva, Raja, and Tama. These gunas are primarily the nourishes both the upper and auspicious. I mean, if it is Sattva guna, then the Sattva guna will nourish the upper branches. Right. The good deed will come when, but you are right. You are right in the sense that the good deed cannot happen without, you know, maybe Sattva and a little bit of Raja sometimes. If you look at good deed. And what do you mean by good deed? When we say good karma, akarma, vikarma, and, you know, karma, akarma, and vikarma, in that case, we're saying that even if it's not that there is a reaction of action, I mean, every action will have an equal and opposite, reaction. For example, so good karma will have, you know, or good deed, so to say. So when you say deed, it means the karma. But here we're saying that the karma is not nourishing the branches. What is nourishing the branches is the mode of nature. And the mode of nature is something which is driving the karmas. Is it understood? Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. And there are also extra roots of the banyan tree were also compared to the activities of the living entities, some auspicious and some inauspicious. So here comes the your second point, the roots. So the roots, some secondary roots are basically auspicious activities and the uh, inauspicious activities. There was also something about the leaves. We studied. What are the leaves compared as to the Vedic hymns, and root is the Brahma Loka. And what is separating from the material world to the spiritual world? What is that which separates? Hare Krishna. We can see the tree and we can see what is separating. You can look at the picture and say, desire. Desire is separating. Because of the desire, we are in the material world for innumerable number of times. The moment that this, you can see, like the water on which the reflection happens. Similarly, it is a desire on which all the different kind of janmas happen. Now, this is the connection. So, there is a connection between uh, chapter with the previous chapter with chapter 16. Is that explain the divine qualities that elevate one on the tree and leads ultimately to liberation. So, unless we have something in our hands which helps us, which enhances our qualities in a way that elevates above the tree. That means it crosses the root here and crosses the desire, the ocean of desire, and it then that is called the liberation when we reach to Goloka Brundavana. And therefore divine quality is required. So chapter 16 also explains what not only divine qualities but also the demoniac qualities and the mentality which drives one on to the lower planets. So naturally, if the branches are going to the going down, means those are the different planes or lokas, like the different lokas. For example, the Atala, Butala, Sutala, Talatala, Patala, and all that, and also lower species of life. So all that is happening because of what? Because of the development of demoniac nature or demoniac qualities. Okay, so now 16.1 to 16.6. So there are six verses. Now Krishna will talk about 26 qualities, in fact, of divine nature. Lord Krishna lists 26 characteristics of saintly people, qualities that elevate one on the banyan tree and ultimately lead to liberation. What are those 26 qualities? Let's look at. So before that, I think here the verses are not there. So I'm reading from, so basically from verse 1 to 3, all the 26 qualities are described by Lord Krishna. Those six. And then from 4 onwards, the qualities are of the demonic nature. So just read the qualities of divine qualities. So Sri Bhagavan Uvaja, अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिर्ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थिताः दानं तमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधस् त्यागशान्तिरपाशुनं दया भूतेषु अलुल्पु अलो अलुलुप्त्वं मार्दवं हृर्अचपलं तेजक्षमा धृति शौचम् अद्रोहणातिमानिता भवन्ति संपदां दैव्यम् अभिजातस्य भारत. The sampada daivyam. So, so these are the daivya sampada. So if you look at all these 26 qualities, so this Supreme Personality of God, it said, the quality starts with fearlessness. So you can just count, there are 26 qualities: fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of the spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude. Fortitude is absolute courage and cleanliness and freedom from envy and from passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, these are 26 numbers of transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly man endowed with divine nature. So, how we are going to connect? Let's say we start with fearlessness. Fearlessness is a quality which is 100% required for the persons who are, for Grihastha also it is required, but it is a mandatory thing for a sannyasi. For example, our best example is our Guru, Srila Prabhupada, who was absolutely fearless. He was, first of all, he went without, with just 20, 40 rupees in pocket to US, and he didn't have a return ticket. I mean, ultimate kind of fearlessness. And that too, he was living in a, underneath not an even apartment. It's a kind of a cell, underground cell, and with the hippies. And in fact, he dealt with so many atheists, and he was so cool and calm. That's the fearlessness. We see the fearlessness with Prahlad Maharaj, absolute fearlessness. And purification of one's existence, what we do, we chant. Our our chanting process is the best purification process that we're doing. Cultivation of spiritual knowledge. This is where we are reading Bhagavad Gita. We are now reading chapter 16. We have read in level 1, then we're studying level 2. It goes up to level 5. Level 5 is then called Bhakti Shastri. Then after that, there is Bhakti Vaibhav. So all this, so reading Gita, Bhagavatam, all other things are through the, so where, cultivation of knowledge happens. Then, of course, charity. So what is the best charity in Kali Yuga? And what is the best sacrifice in Kali Yuga? Performance of sacrifice. So there are various sacrifices in every yuga, right? In Kali Yuga, the best sacrifice is Yajnanam Japa Yogasmi. Kalau nastebhyo gatirannatha. Harer Nama. So chanting is the best sacrifice for Kali Yuga. And simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger. So, see, so looking at this thing looks like we are now, we should not say this because we have already crossed level one. We have a good, at least a good understanding of who the Supreme Personal Godhead is a Krishna. So everything what we see is either his external energy or internal energy or Tatastha Shakti, Antarang Shakti or Vayananga Shakti. That understanding has already come. So now these qualities should not remain as a bookish qualities. These are the qualities which we are supposed to develop, and it is going to develop through the Krishna conscious journey only through our normal process of getting up in the morning, uh, doing the all the different kind of sevas that is there, uh, which is recommended. So by this process, in fact, tat paratvena nirmalam. So this process will purify. So this is the process in which the we get purified, and like let's say gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness. All this is required. And Krishna is saying, required in the sense that I am not saying, or some, not that some arbitrary people are saying. Krishna has just given this in writing that these are the divine qualities, and without these qualities, you cannot reach me. As simple as that. If Krishna is saying that these are the qualities, without these qualities, you cannot reach me. So we don't have a choice. We cannot say that, we can have a purification, but will not be, I mean, we can't be fearful, or uh, we are 100% truthful, but then we can be angry. So that those kind of permutation combination is something which we think that it's okay, but Krishna is saying no, it's not okay. Everything is to be done, but slowly it will happen. So Prabhupada is the best example, as you said. But one question which is coming here is that in the Kuru dynasty, in fact, before Pandavas and Kauravas, before they met Krishna in the childhood, if you look at their childhood activities, then it is very very clear that Pandavas were of demoniac qualities. From the beginning, they were trying to drown Bhima, and so many things they have done, right? The Kauravas and Pandavas were of divine qualities. Now, so what happened? Krishna, if you say that it is the association of Krishna for Pandavas which has happened, so what has happened to them, for Kauravas? Why they became demoniac? Purely because of Hare Krishna? Yes. Why you think that Kauravas have become demoniac?
Because Prabhuji, they were not associated with Krishna ji.
That's right. So they are not associated. Very good. They're not, you know, having the association of Krishna. However, they are having also the association of the crooked. So this is the effect of the association, right? For example, they have the association of Sakuni, right?
Yes,
From the
Prabhuji.
childhood. So this is how in the same, you know, in the same time they were born, uh, mostly mostly in the same geographical area, but just because of the association, some become, or develop demonic qualities, and some become demonic. So association is so important, and therefore it is said that karanam guna sanga asya. So guna sangya asya is the karanam. So these are the various qualities. I mean, the 26 qualities that we talked about. So what is fearlessness? That is abhayam, which, and particularly in sannyasa ashram, it is the first qualification of a sannyasi. Because sannyasi goes to the forest, he's he has to be absolutely complete dependence on Supreme Lord's mercy, has to be alone without guarantee of support. Not necessary that some Ola will be there or something will be there or some Zomato will be there. Nothing will be there. Everything will be at Lord's mercy, and convinced that Paramatma will give all protection to the surrendered soul. And that is called fearlessness. Fearlessness is not about if a if a murderer comes or if a terrorist comes, and if someone comes and put a gun on your head and you're not fearful, that is a simple type of fearlessness. Actual fearlessness, this complete dependence on Supreme Lord's mercy and purification of one's existence. That is sattva sauchadhihi. And it is also for sannyasi because they are strictly following the rules and regulations. They are especially forbidden intimate association with women. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally very, very strict about it. He has, in fact, I mean, if somebody is in brahmachari, then he should be brahmachari and should not look at women. If somebody is grihastha, then fine because he was already in an ashram, so he's kind to them. So he has given punishment to Chota Haridas Thakur because, and he was one of the greatest devotees. He just had a glance on a woman, and just for that he was completely ostracized. Cultivation of knowledge, jnana yoga, vyavasthitu is sannyasa ashram. Again, duty of sannyasi must cultivate and give transcendental knowledge, especially to so jajana, all that brahmanas do. Jajana, jajana, patana is something Brahmanas do. Similarly, what sannyasi is supposed to do, they are also supposed to cultivate knowledge and also distribute this transcendental knowledge. And therefore, you can see in most of our stories, whether the stories of Bhagwatam or the various stories in Mahabharata, Ramayana, everywhere you see that this transcendentalist always visit the kingdom and give certain knowledge, and people get that knowledge. And humility, of course. Then charity is the dhanam. That is that this is purely for the grihastha. Charity given in the more, and that's more important, that charity is given in which which mode, and that mode decides the time, place, and person. So if it is the right time and the right place and the right person, then it is called the charity in the mode of goodness. So charity is also of three types. Then sacrifice, of course, in this yoga, chanting is the best sacrifice. Then Vedic study, Swadhyaya is required because continuous, or unless otherwise, as we're saying that there are only two choices, either we surrender to Maya or we surrender to Krishna. So if Swadhyaya is not going on, if the scriptural studies, like the studies of Gita, like the studies of Bhagavatam, like the study of Chaitanya Charitamrita, if all these are not happening on a daily basis, then mind will just go off. It will just go off surfing something. You have decided as of now to listen here. This is what, in fact, the Vedic study is going on in a way. But Swadhyaya is your own study. That is what Prabhupada says that please read my purports of Bhagavad Gita scrutinizingly because every word, every sentence will give a new meaning and it will also give the solutions to life, of the questions of the life. That is the power of Swadhyaya of the Shastras. But a normal book, a non-Shastric book will not give you any solution. And this and different meaning will not come. Then austerity is the tapaha. So tapa in our Krishna consciousness journey, that our ekadasis, our regulative principles, all this comes under tapa. And human life, therefore, is meant for liberation. For that, tapasya is a must. And one must retire after householder life, approximately 50 years. That was the recommendation. And and uh, and nowadays, of course, people want to have rather live in old age homes uh, and enjoy everything. In fact, Prabhupada was, when he went to US, he was absolutely frustrated looking at the people of his age because he was himself was 70, 69 at that point of time, and he was saying that all of the people of his age was are all sunk in drinks and alcohol and you know various other things, narcotics. So where is the question and how will they liberate? He was so concerned. Therefore, within 1 year, everything has happened. All the movement has started. Simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness goes without saying. Freedom from anger, akrodhaha. Then renunciation, tyaga, using things properly. That is for Krishna's service. Tranquility is santir, unaffected by disturbed emotions, peaceful, equipoised, aversion to fault finding. This is something I think very, very rampant. So to call a thief is okay, but no unnecessarily fault finding or correction. Then compassion for all living entities, daya. So there is something called daya, there is something called karuna. Daya is for everyone, and kripa is for there is a term, no? Uh, Kripaya Asrupurna Kulekshanam. So in fact, Krishna looked at Arjuna with kripa. So that is for person, and daya is for everyone. Give spiritual knowledge, prasadam, books, holy name, and freedom of covetousness. Alal aloluptvam, covetousness, greedy, charity, and renunciation. Then gentleness, friendliness to all living entities. Suhrudam sarva bhutanam. Krishna is the, in fact, friend of everyone. Suhrudam sarva bhutanam. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivisto vatta smriti jnanam upohanam cha. And then other one is Suhrudam sarva bhutanam sarva lokam maheswara. Then, so in a way, if you look at Krishna is saying that unless the soul has the same quality as that of the super soul, if that does not acquire those qualities of Krishna, then it is not possible to have liberation. So those are the qualities. Krishna already has all these qualities. Steady determination, vigor, then forgiveness, that is shama, then fortitude, dhritihi, cleanliness, saucham, freedom from envy, that is adroha, then natimanita. Natimanita is particularly for Sudras. It is most respected others. One should not be puffed up with unnecessary prestige and honor and remain in one's own status. But we can see some of the things are applicable to the Kshatriyas like Shama, Dhriti, because they have to mentally and emotionally strength they should have because they will always face difficult situations. Cleanliness is something which is required for Vaisyas, although it's required for everyone, and internal mind and heart, external. So there are two type of cleanliness. One is external, where we take bath, take care of the external body, and also there is internal cleanliness. Internal cleanliness can happen only through chanting and of course through swadhyaya. So now comes the demoniac qualities. So look at this elephant. Okay, just kind of, this is called what? This is called Dambho Darpo Abhimanasya Krodha Purusham Evacha Ajnanam Cha Vijatasya Partha Sampadam Asurim. Dambho Darpa Abhimanasya Krodha Purusham Evacha Parushyam Evacha Ajnanam Cha Vijatasya Partha Sampadam Asurim. So what are the Asuri Sampada or the demoniac nature? Like this elephant sometimes. I mean, it is just an symbolic that in fact a demoniac person has these kind of nature like arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, and ultimately ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature. He's saying, O son of Partha. But the divine, the people with divine qualities, just the opposite is there, right? For example, we'll see that they do not have pride. They they have full control on anger. They're simple. They do not do so. The opposite of conceit is simplicity. Uh, they're humble, so there is no harshness. And the opposite of ignorance is knowledge. Daivi sampada vimokshasya vimokshaya daivi sampad vimokshaya निबधाया सुरीमता मासूच sampadam daivim abhijatosi pandava. So the transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. So whether Arjuna was born in divine qualities or not, that is declared by Krishna. Of course, without having divine qualities, one cannot be an associate of Krishna. The fact that Arjuna is the, in the Sakhya Bhava, it only establishes the fact that he is having the divine qualities. The association matters. That's more important. So we can see some people who associate with, we can see, in many countries you can see, or you can take this example also. For example, how association is important is, if you look at, let's say, some local trains, either Mumbai local trains, or I mean, you can take that example where there's a lot of crowd, and you're just standing there. You are not required to get out of the, when the station comes, automatically the force of the crowd will push you out. So it is that force, it is the association of the force. So if somebody is associated with the drunkards, then he will drink automatically, because that's the force. So this is how it is. Transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation. Divine nature is conducive to liberation, and demonic qualities lead to bondage. So Lord Krishna encourages Arjuna that he is born of saintly qualities. In fact, the Gita was spoken because he was able to hear Gita, because he was humble, and he was not, the two qualities of Arjuna for which he is able to receive Gita. And to receive Gita, the qualities are, one is humility, that he is very, very humble, and second is that he is not jealous, he is not envious. On what basis Krishna considered that Arjuna is born of saintly qualities and his fighting is not demoniac? Based on these two. Number one, since Arjuna considered the pros and cons of the the battle. That's the question, right? The four questions he asked, then followed by the fifth question in the second chapter. First chapter, four question, four doubts rather, and each and every question was answered, and all the doubts were also cleared subsequently in chapter 2 and chapter 3, and later on in subsequent chapters. So, what were these doubts? Number one was compassion. So, he doesn't want to fight because of compassion. Then, second was sinful reaction. Then, third was destruction of family dynasty, no enjoyment, and then indecision. All these five things were there. And because he was able to understand what is the pros, and he was saying that if I do this, it is better to even beg, because it will lead to more sins, I'll go to hell. So he was able to analyze, to perform the regulative principles of different orders of life is transcendental action. To perform the regulative principles, now there are four regulative principles, we will not go into details, but regulative principles are required. For example, Kshatriya shooting arrows at the enemy is considered transcendental, and not doing so is demonic. So whatever is the Swadharma is always transcendental, and not doing that is demonic. If the the, the Brahmin is supposed to do this, you know, sacrifice, patana, yajana, jajana, all that. If he's not doing and doing something else, then that will become demonic. So, to bhuta sargo loke asmin devasura evacha de दैव विस्तारसः प्रोक्ता asuram partha me sruno. O son of Partha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. O son of Partha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called the divine, and other is called demonic. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me the demonic qualities. I will explain details. Here we can see all these people on the right hand side. So some are absolutely, going to the, you know, to the murdering someone. But on the above, you can see that they're trying to, meditate upon Krishna and trying to do something. But others are not bothered. They're simply plundering on others' wealth or murdering someone for some sense gratification. All that is going on, and this is all these dambha, darpa, all these qualities of the demonic qualities we can see here. This guy, for example, is saying if he's showing his muscles, so it's dambha and darpa together. So text 6 let us understand. So there are two kinds of created beings. So one is of course divine, and second is demonic. Out of these two created beings, both demigods and demons are born of Prajapati. However, what is the difference between the divine and demonic then? The only answer is obedience to the regulative principles of scriptures. So, who follows the regulative principle of scriptures, they are divine. And who do not follow the regulative principles of scripture, they are by default demonic. If you look at any of the demons that we are there, whether it is Ravana, whether it is Kamsa, whether it is uh, Prahlad's father, anyone, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, anyone, all they have demonic qualities. This is what I was talking about. Prabhuting cha nibruting cha janana vidurasuraha na sauchang napi chacharo na satyang teshu vidyate. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. This is the metro station example where you are forced to get out without your will. So if the will is not directed towards the right thing, then of course it is something we can say uh, that is called the prabhuti. And we can see how people are intoxicated this way. So let's analyze this more. So what happens to this demonic nature of people? They do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. So they can go on intoxicating themselves. They can do anything which is against the Shastras. And they do not know also. If you ask them that, are you doing right? They will say, yes, I'm doing right. And if you say, okay, no, I'm trying to chant one round every day, they will say, what nonsense you are doing? Come and enjoy. So they are going to hell. They will also bring the other person to the hell. They're unclean, improper behavior because of that, and untruthful. These are the characteristics of demoniac nature. So let's go to 8. That further demonic qualities. Asatyam asatyam apratishtham te jagat ahur aniswaram. So they don't believe in God. And aparaspara sambhutam kim anyat kama heitukam. Sorry, Hare Krishna. They say that this world is unreal, that there is no foundation and there is no God in control. It is produced by sex desire and has no cause other than lust. So what do you think? This world is real or not real? The material world is a reflection of the spiritual world, there is no doubt. But it is not unreal. Why it is not unreal? Because, for example, earth, fire, air, water, earth, water, air, fire, and ether, all these are part of Krishna's separated energy. If something is part of Krishna's separated energy, how you can say that it is unreal? It is not unreal. All the Panchabhutas are not unreal. They are temporary. Where Mayavadi says what? They says that they said that Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. Jagat is not Mithya. It is not a lie. It's not something unreal. So understanding is that it is part of Krishna's energy, and we are supposed to be the tatastha energy or the marginal energy. Because why we are called marginal energy? because we have the given the major freedom to go on the to go to any of the side. Either we can remain in the material world, come to this side. We can even skip the material world. We can cross the desire and we can go to the spiritual world. Therefore, living entities are called the Tatastha Shakti. So in detail, the divine and demonic nature, world is unreal with no God in control. They think, which is not correct, and this is the demonic philosophy. First is world is unreal with no God in control, no cause other than lust, and thus this world is produced of sex desire. It's not like that. It is because of the karmas which is happening. We know very well, karmanaha gahana gati, and all that. How the karma also seeds in different forms. It is not that this life is over and there is no life. It is only a transmigration. Ehinosmin jatha dehe kumaram yavana jara tatha dehantara prapti dhira satranam yodi. They do not know. They think this life is the last life and nothing beyond this. Etam drishtim avastapya न सतात्मानो ईपि बुद्धयः प्रभवन्ति उग्र कर्मणः क्षयाय जगतो हितः. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost, which conclusions? The conclusion that there is no God, the conclusion that this life is the only life, these kind of conclusions. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. So we can see that all the terrorist activities and the things which they do not know what is right, what is wrong, or and also they can go to the extent of extinguishing the entire world. That is called ugra karma. So one is normal karma, vikarma, and it is a ugra karma. Ugra karma is beyond vikarma. Vikarma is something which is not done as per the scripture, but it may not be ugra karma. In a ugra karma like terrorism, there will be thousands and millions of death possible in a let's say if a bomb is you know dropped, then we can know what are the uh, maladies which happen. The text 9, the divine and demonic nature, demonic attitudes and engagements. So what are the attitudes of the demonics? The attitude is the demonic are lost to themselves, illusioned and have no intelligence. Illusioned, why? Because they think they are the body, they are the mind, they are not the soul. If they think they are the soul, then they will not think of this life to lord over everything for only for sense enjoyment. They will not think. So therefore, their illusion, there is no intelligence because they think what? They think to be advancing but engaged in the work that is destructive. And second, what are their engagements? Their engagement is unbeneficial, horrible work meant to destroy the world. It is unbeneficial to themselves, it is unbeneficial to the rest of the world. And of course, this Ugra Karma is very, very painful, horrible, destructive. Just, I mean, if you cannot watch Ugra Karma in a movie, then just think about the actual work, Ugra Karma, which is happening on site. 16. So there are 10, 11, and 12. This three together is basically again the demonic qualities about the four regulative principles. Will not go into details, but this is what is required in Krishna consciousness. So the four regulative principles are you will get it in the next level, but it is like no gambling, no illicit relationship, no intoxication, no meat eating. This is the four regulative principles. So the demonic taking shelter of insatiable lust, pride, and false prestige, and illusion, and are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. And then 11 and 12 is they believe that To gratify the senses on to end of life is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, there is no end to their anxiety. Being bound by hundreds and thousands of desires, by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. We can very well relate to this. There are thousands of people we can relate in our surroundings. I mean, this is rampant. So Krishna is saying as of that these are something which somebody thinks that yes, he's securing his future by getting this money uh, through some means which are not right, not as per not through the ethical way. Then that is part of the demonic nature, and for that he or she is going to have the uh, effect of that. Text 10. So the divine, okay, this we so, particularly attracted by impermanent thing. Their lust is insatiable. They're illusioned. They're always absorbed in pride and false prestige, and they do all kinds of abominable jobs or work also, acts also. And 16, 13, and 15 is what the demonic person thinks: so much wealth do I have today. I'll gain so much according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in future more and more and more. He, he is my enemy, and I've killed him, and my other enemy will also be killed. I'm the Lord of everything. I'm the enjoyer. I'm perfect. I'm powerful. I'm happy. I'm the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. See, look at this. So I'll kill, I'll do everything, and then I'll do sacrifice. Then I shall some sacrifices, I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. So this is the kind of fundamentals of the demonic people. We can see, in fact, the great examples. For example, Hiranyakashipu, he was trying to kill his own son. This is only possible by a demon. A normal person, you cannot think that a father is going to kill his son. Forget about divine, nature of people. The normal people on the street, a father is not going to kill his son. And here comes Kamsa, he's killing his sister. And Ravana, what he's doing? He's trying to steal Ram's wife, Sita ji, and Sita Mata. So these are all demonic qualities. Further description of demonic mentality. So number one mentality is I am the controller and the enjoyer. And who is the supreme enjoyer? Krishna. And what we're supposed to be? He is the enjoyer, we're the enjoyed. But the demonic person is thinking that I am the enjoyer. And that indicates false ego, which connects spirit to matter. I am perfect and powerful. Everything is being done by my potency. Everything will increase. So he also doesn't understand that he's going to die. He's only thinking that it will keep on increasing. All his wealth is going to, keep on increasing. My enemies are defeated and I am happy. If enemies are defeated today, tomorrow some new enemies can come. So therefore, they're illusioned. So how demonic person thinks, deluded by ignorance, that's the whole thing. अनेक चित्त विभ्रांत अनेक चित्त विभ्रांत मोहजाल समावृतः प्रसक्तः काम भोगेषु पतन्ति नरके शुचौ. Thus perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions. This network of illusions is called mohajala samavrita. What is the mohajala? And because of this mohajala, one becomes too strongly attached to the sense enjoyment and falls down into the hell. We can have an example. We can see, look at this fish, and this is called the mohajala. This is the result of the demonic work. So they bound up by network of hundreds of thousands of desires and illusions. So I'll do that. I can get that. I can enjoy this. I mean, to enjoy this, if I need to murder someone, then I murder. Whatever. I mean, This is so the Mohajala is so infinite that that fish cannot come out from the Jala or from this network of illusion. And examples are many. Atma sambhavitah stabdha dhanamana madanvitah yajante nama yajnaiste dambhenabdhi dambhenabidhi purvakam. Self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only without following any rules or regulations. So this is what the qualities of the demonic people. They do something. It is not that as per Shastra we are supposed to do charity. The mode of goodness, the charity has to be done, let's say, on an auspicious day. It can be a Purnima, it can be a good day like Janmashtami, it can be, you know, there are good days, and there are also persons, needy persons for whom it is supposed to be done. So, and also time, at what time of the day. So, there are tithis. So, but then demonic person just does just like that. He doesn't look at time, he doesn't look at the person, he doesn't look at anything. And hypocritical nature and preachings of demonic person. Being self-complacent and impudent, they are deluded by wealth and false prestige, and they do a lot of sacrifices. In the shastras, we do come across many examples where they do yajnas to get some or other power to lord over. They proudly perform sacrifices in the name only without following any rules. Their hypocritical religious observances cannot save them. Ahankaram balam darpam, another, uh, in fact, initial, after the initial divine qualities, the rest of the things are the demonic qualities. So, ahankaram valam darpam kamam krodham cha samshritaha mamatma paradeheshu pradushanta abhayusuyakaha. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demon becomes envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in his own body and in the bodies of others, and blasphemes against the real reason. The best example we can see on the right hand side. So, anyone who can identify this person and what is the event, okay, I can give a clue. The event is a Rajasuya Yagya, and Krishna was worshipped as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then who is this person whose head is cut through his Sudarsana Chakra? Who is the person? Hare Krishna? Hare Krishna? Yes? Anyone? Who is this person who was given, 100, he was excused with 100 mistakes? You remember the name? Jai Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, Shishupala.
Isupala. Yes. So what kind of demonic nature he has? Krishna was present there. Pandavas can understand he is the Supreme Personal Godhead. In his time, forget about our Kali Yuga. In his time, there are people who could not understand him. Shishupala could not understand him. Kamsa could not understand him, being near to him. So, what kind of demonic nature they had? Tanaham Dvishattaha, Tan Aham Dvishataha Kruran Samsareshu Naradhaman Shipami Ajasram Asubhan Asurish eva yunisu, those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. Now Krishna is saying, I do this. Krishna is saying, I do this. To whom? To the people who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, and who are cast, and they are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, Because in the material existence, there is Janma Mritu Jara Vyadhi, continuous life, and into various demonic species of life. We can see here. The first quality is to become non-envious of, because we know he is having the qualities of a Bhagavan. Therefore, why he is Bhagavan? Because he has got the six opulences. Asurim yoning apanna mudha janmani janmani mam aprapya iva kaunteya tato yanti adhamam gatim. At- Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demonic life, such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. We can see here. In fact, I mean, if you in the Bhagavatam also there is description of the various kinds of the narakas and what kind of pain and suffering that go through, and that's what is the description is all about. Something who has done this kind of thing, burn someone, so they will be also burned. And this is what I mean, quite natural. Every action will have opposite reaction. So what happens to them? Fate of the demonic. So they glide, and what fate of demonic? They glide down to the hell. And what never attain me means? It means what is the hope for them because God is supposed to be all merciful. 21 to 24, it is 10. We can. Okay, let's take. त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नासानामात्मनः कामो कामक्रोधस्तथा लोभस् तस्मात् एतत्त्रयं त्यजेत् तस्मात् एतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्. So these three you must give up. And what are those? Trividham Narakasyadam. Tribhidham Narakasyadam is these are the three gates leading to the hell. And what are those? Lust, anger, and greed. Just three. Krishna's formula are very, very crisp. Just the control of lust, anger, and greed, the door of the hell is closed. These three give the door to the hell. Every sane man should give this up for they lead to the degradation of the soul. We can see. So we can see the examples of the lust, anger, and greed on the right hand side. So somebody is after the greed, somebody is after the lust, somebody is in anger. All the depiction is here on the right hand side. And in nectar of instruction also, that is the various kind of vegams are defined there. Like krodha vegam is the anger. Then bacha vegam, that is from the speech. And last is upastha vegam, that greed. So all that is there. एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरति आत्मनः श्रेयास्ततो याति परम गतिम्. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, perform acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. We, we see here how, in a gradual process, ladder by ladder, the devotee attains Krishna. So it starts with acceptance of spiritual master. So tadviddhi pranipatena parikrishna sevaya. So he is asking humbly and accepting the spiritual master. So along with this, then spiritual master guides him to study the Veda. He or she has some doubts. He asks those questions. Then observes austerity. From austerity comes the sense control, and all this finally culminates into the spiritual knowledge. And what is spiritual knowledge? To know Krishna as he is. And what he is, he says what he is. Janma karma cha me divyam. The three gets to hell. So we must remember this picture. Anger, we can see on the left hand side. In the middle, we can see the lust. On the right hand side, we can see the greed. People go to any extent for this. The entire world is running after this, and the endeavors are also happening. So the rajas that is working too hard and continuously, getting frustration and endeavoring one after another is due to any of these three. Either there is a need of lust, or there is a need of greed, or there is some anger for which there is some kind of action somebody is taking. या शास्त्र विद्धिम उत्सृज्य वर्तते काम कारतः न स सिद्धिम अवाप्नोति न सुखम न परम गतिम. But he who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. So Krishna is strictly saying that if somebody thinks that, okay, I can find out my way because I am very logical, I'm very intelligent, so I can find out my more way. I don't need to look at the Shastra. I have some logic. So from tomorrow, I'll find out a method how to worship Krishna. So what Krishna is saying? He's saying that all these whims, they will first of all never get any perfection, no happiness, and of course, they will not never get his abode. It can happen only through the parampara, not through anything else. Here we can see people are all engaged in gambling, illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication. Do you think that it is easy to come out of this so easily? Whoever is already indulged in this kind of sense gratification, once it's a infinite well. Once somebody gets a tip, it doesn't come out so easily. तस्मात् शास्त्रम प्रमाणम ते कार्य कार्य व्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्रम विधानोक्तम कर्म कर्तुम इह इह इहर्हसि. One should understand what is duty, what is not duty. So to Arjuna, he's saying, you do your swadharma. Sarveshu kalesu mam anusmara yuddhascha. Sarvesu kalesu mam anusmara yuddhascha. So you are Kshatriya, you are supposed to fight. But you have to also remember me at the same time. We can see here, Krishna and Balaram, they are Godheads. They do not need any knowledge. But we can see they want to give the example to the society that this is the way one should accept a guru. So they accepted the guru at Sandipani. So they are saying that guru is important in this parampara. They could have easily, not done it also, or done away with it also. So this is the summary. 1 to 6 is transcendental and demonic qualities. 7 to 20 is the demonic nature. 20 to 24 is the choice, escaping to the supreme destination. Hare Krishna. Today we can see Santanu Nandi Prabhuji and Swayam Prabha Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
I think after a long time, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhuji. After a long time. Actually, Prabhuji, in fact, I thought I'm not eligible for level 2 actually, but I joined a level 1 classes also from January 1 actually. So that the new level 1 batch actually that I continued there also. Now
Acha,
today I
January
got
batch.
time.
Oh, that's a beautiful,
Ha
beautiful.
ha ha
This
ha.
this this
Yeah,
is the
so
batch of October.
this is October actually. So I started in January level 1 batch also. And
So that is it complete now? 18 days?
Yeah, that is
Yes,
complete.
naturally.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they're now also they're doing level two actually. So now there I join sometimes. Now today there is no class there, and since I saw this invite, so I thought let me join here. But still, I think I have to continue level one. I am still not eligible for level two, but I'm just trying to do some Sravanam. You know, that's all.
We all are level zero, Hare Krishna. So nothing to worry. We'll all go together.
Okay.
There is no level. These are
So it
only
was a
kind of
nice class actually.
Hare,
This
Hare,
your classes is nice class.
Hare Krishna. Any questions
Hare Krishna.
on Daivi Sampada and Asuri Sampada?
No, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you for the Devotee Association. Thank you very much, everyone. All the
Yeah.
devotees of Krishna. We- So, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrindu ki Jai, Jai Prabhupada ki Jai. We'll meet again on Thursday with chapter 17. So there are two chapters. So next week, Thursday and Friday, uh, level 2 classes will be over. Hare Krishna.